Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Elliott running right.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. That one complete to Elliott.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jameis to throw it. It's caught by Mike Evans. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. from the gun. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Here's Austin. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Throw caught here by Bird. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
There we go. Going to 54. Wide in. Anyway. Check nickel. Deuce. Check 4.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this second very manageable.
Man, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Check three. No.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Pass complete to Bird out right here. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
You got nothing. Hey, 47. 26.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A.J. Brown, 29 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take him into the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And this is good for a first down, his second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Come on, let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard, and that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
He's checking credit.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott.
Go, go, run.
And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
22-yard line.
Check, cover. 22. Check, cover. Check 3. Mike, 26.
From the 22, Prescott. That is caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The end result, 21 yards. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Airing this one out for Evans and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Watch the safety. Check out. Let's go.
Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Now Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Jameis throwing here. That's complete to Perriman. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. 10th carry now for Elliott. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 41, Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on this. 26. Check 13. Check 13.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a...
He's got it at the 15. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
1st down, Buccaneers.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Winston now. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. The Cowboys take over 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion from the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Here we go. 480. Check right 54. Right 54. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Watch it. We're going to 53.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
46.
Prescott from the gun. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
He looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He's going to look deep for pick. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Winston. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. He's got Evans. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready, flag, what do you got? 54, right 54. Watch us, go.
From the red zone now, Winston. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To the air again with Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 3 yards out, and the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And out of a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd down at the 24-yard line.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the 4th. Throw left side, complete to Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
The 1st down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Bucs 40.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Slam. Watch twitch. Watch work. Switch it. Hey.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37th. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Pollard. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down. Prescott now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Now Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Defense wins championship, baby. He's checking. Crash. Check it.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. On 1st down, Pollard dances by him. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.